What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to The Society. I am joined once again by my co-commentator Bateson87.
Hi guys.
And we have today got 3 games for you, the remaining 3 games of match day 3. We've got Tom against Curtis, Capgun Tom against Curtis Morton, Lucas against Biscuit Face Gaming, and Zweibak against Math Denton. Now the game of the day for me today is the Lucas against BFG game, because Lucas has got 1 win and 1 loss from his first 2 games, but he came back strong in the last match day 2. And Biscuit Face Gaming, the only person with a perfect record so far with 2 wins out of 2. How do you see that game going, Bates?
I think Lucas definitely needs to redeem himself after losing to Math in the last game, and with Biscuit sat pretty with 6 points and Lucas on 3 points, if Lucas does take the victory, that may take him over Biscuit depending on how many goals if he does win by. But Biscuit will also be looking to defend his unbeaten record, even though he's leaked a few goals and took away with a few, well, few dodgy looking wins, and like not convincing wins.
3-2 and 2-1.
Yeah. So it'll be nice to see Biscuit actually with someone who's a proven goal scorer, which is Lucas.
That is correct, and if Biscuit can come away with a win here, I think that'll set him and Finch up really nicely at the top of the table. The other games we've got today, a bit of a bottom of the table clash. Math Denton in 6th against Ryan in 9th. Now Ryan will be looking to pick up at least a point just to get himself officially off the bottom. He's currently joint bottom with Fangbanger, and open up a little gap between himself and Fangs. But Math, after a nice win in round 2, will be looking to get that 3 points to push himself back up the table.
Yeah, Math looked confident in his last game, especially against one of the fan favourites, Lucas. He was messing around with his skills, and skills were working. And it'll also be nice to see if Tom can get the skills in action up against Curtis, because in Curtis's last game he was run rapid, didn't he, against his opponent. But also Ryan, he is not looking comfortable in any of his games. First one against Jesse was a draw, and then his next game was a loss. So it'd be nice to see if he can do anything to get him further up the table.
And speaking about the Tom and GamerCan today, they both took massive defeats in game day 1. They both came back with wins in game day 2. So to put themselves against each other now will really be a test of who's got the better character and who's settled down more in this league.
Yeah, and it's a battle of the friendships as well, because Curtis and Tom are good friends, know each other in real life. Tom was convincing his win against Ryan, wasn't he? He's bashed out the skills and took a big win, and also Curtis went absolutely hell for leather. Yeah, so it'd be nice to see how them two play.
It is going to be nice to see how them two play, and those are the first 2 that we're going to see today. If you guys want to talk to us, of course, all the social network information is on the screen now. Myself is at NepentheZ, Bateson is at Bateson87. Talk to us about the Society with hashtag The Society. Let us know who you think is going to win and who you think is going to be the better player. Just a little bit of information for those wondering. This will eventually move on to its own channel. I do have its own YouTube channel being set up for it. So for those of you that don't particularly enjoy the lengthy videos, they won't be here for much longer. There's also being a website created, thesocietyleague.com. You can check it out right now, although it's currently down for maintenance whilst we make some changes to it, where you're going to be able to have all access to all areas. And after every match day, there's going to be a poll on the website to vote for the goal of the day, the player of the day, and a lot of other cool little bonus features to get you guys really involved in the league. So before that game is, well, before the website is live, we're probably going to have 1 or 2 match days coming up. But let's get into today's first game, which is Capgun Tom against Curtis Morton. So as we see kickoff for this game, guys, we see Capgun Tom line up with a 4-1-2-1-2 formation. A very interesting team for him, with Petacek in goal, Pizcek, Luis, Kabul and Clichy in defence, Ramirez, Kuba, Hazard and Diego in midfield, Aubameyang and Benteke up front, and the GamerCan has a 3-5-2 formation with Neuer in goal, Dante Hummels and Santana in defence, Gundogan, Gustavo, Kuba, Royce and Mkhitaryan in midfield, with Aubameyang and Lewandowski up front. Now both of these guys really impressed with skills in the last round, Bateson, but can you see this being a skill game or more of a sweaty game?
I think it'll be a sweaty game to start off with, especially as Tom and Curtis know each other. But if Tom does take a convincing lead by maybe 2 or 3 goals, you'll then see him maybe, well, it depends if you've got Ibrahimovic on the bench, but he'll bring him on and start doing some flicks, rainbow flicks and Maradona spins, because he likes to entertain himself that way.
He does, but now looking at Tom's lineup, he's gone for Benteke and Aubameyang up front. He's got Diego as the cam. He does have Hazard at left midfield, but this will mean Benteke doesn't get perfect chemistry. How much impact do you think that might have?
I don't really know what it's going to do, because I'm not sure why he's done that either, because with the last strike partnership he had, he's even changed the formation from his last game as well. But it'll be funny to see if he can adapt to it and take the points away from Curtis.
It will. He has got a really strong lineup though. Luiz and Kabul as centre-backs are very powerful. Piszczek as a right-back is on a par with Kyle Walker because of the absolute rapid pace they both have. Gael Clichy as well at left-back has a lot of pace. Ramirez, again, a lot of pace, along with Hazard and Kuba. He's just got a really, really strong lineup.
Yeah, and it's a lineup which a lot of people in this league have took on and put it themselves as well, especially with Lewandowski and Aubameyang. If them two were put into a top goal scorers by every one of the participants, he would definitely be top.
He would, and that is a stunning ball there out to Royce. Unfortunately, unable to take that on board. And the first 6 minutes here has been broken up a little bit by pauses in the games. I guess maybe this is a first time on next gen for both people, so maybe they're sorting out camera angles and control settings and so on and so forth. And it's going to be an interesting game for me. I know Tom doesn't like to lose. I've played enough FIFA and League of Legends with him to know that once he goes behind, he doesn't really find ways back, and he gets frustrated. So he'll be looking to get an early goal. And the first attacking opportunity there was from Tom down the right-hand side, but the gamer cam, the 3-5-2 is a really, really powerful defensive formation as long as your opponent doesn't abuse the wings.
Yeah, and there's only one person who's been lined up well to attack the wings, and that's, even though she's not dominant in front of goal, she is lined up well to counter-attack it, and that's Jessie with the 4-3-3 formation. But with Tom against Curtis, because Tom's got quite a fair few forward, he's got 2 strikers, a cam, left mid and a right mid as well, so if he gets enough forward, he could definitely start whipping balls into Benteke and maybe getting the first goal of the game.
He could, and he's gone for Hazard on the left wing. There's a lot of options you can have on that left wing. I think Hazard is way more expensive than Royce, so it's kind of a little bit confusing as to why he's gone for a kind of hybrid, and there's a offside there for Aubameyang. Kind of weird why he's gone for the hybrid with these two teams. I'm not sure that they, well, with the two divisions, I'm not sure they get perfect chemistry. But Hazard is a really, really strong player. His shooting is great. He's got 4-star skill moves and 4-star weak foot, and he's just in general a very, very pacey, skillful player.
Yeah, he's very small as well, I noticed, because I've actually got him in one of my teams currently. But you have got to pay the price if you want him as well. 170k I paid for him yesterday, which is a lot of money for one person in the team, isn't it?
It is.
And it looks like he's cheaped out on Benteke as well, but I'm still unsure if that's going to pay off or maybe even cost him against Curtis.
It may well do. We've got Mkhitaryan here down the right-hand side. I'm not necessarily sure that Benteke is cheaping out, because for me he's one of the strongest strikers, and especially in the BPL he's one of the better strikers that you can get. But there's just so many other options. Like, you could sell Hazard and with the funds buy Royce and Lewandowski and have a much, much better team composition.
Yeah, and it will be a lot stronger, but then again, maybe Tom doesn't enjoy the likes of Lewandowski and he prefers that big brute up front, which Benteke is good at holding up the ball. They've got a decent head on him and a strike as well.
And here he is on the ball now, and he crosses out there, and Kuba coming down the right hand side to get the rebound. The ball's going to go out for a corner, and that was the first chance of the game 23 minutes in. It's been a bit of a midfield tussle so far, but the corner gets whipped in there. It's got a few men in the box, and there is the header, but the keeper saves well, and Neuer can now throw this one out. Aubameyang is available to get the breakaway, but Tom is sitting really defensive there with 3 guys back.
Yeah, he's got to be careful as well, because Curtis was very dominant against Jessie with the counter-attack and got a fair few goals. But Tom just needs that first goal to settle his nerves, and Curtis does as well. So with them feeling each other right in midfield now, it's going to resort to crossing and headering, I think, for Tom to get that first goal.
And there is a cross coming in from Gael Clichy, bombing down the right-hand side. We spoke about his pace earlier on in the programme, and he has got absolutely rapid pace. And one of the best things for fullbacks is having pace, because even if their defensive abilities, as Tom goes through here on goal, there is a good good save. And there is Benteke with a shot, and that is another fantastic save. But with the fullbacks, you don't necessarily need good defending or heading if you can just run back quickly and get back on goal side.
Yeah, you've got the likes of Abate, who's perfect explanation for that. He's 79 rated, 78 rated maybe. He's just got pace. He's good on the attacking side, and when you need him to catch up after messing up maybe, he's got the pace to get back and cause disruption for the attacking players.
There's actually a few players, Abate, Walker, Piszczek, they're all very, very similar in stature. Fortunately, they all play for different leagues, and this again, it's been a bit of a strange game. Curtis has played a few absolutely stunning crossfield passes so far this game. It's not really something you see in FIFA.
No, but then balls do rip open defences, and there's Tom with his skills, his trademark skills, but then balls do rip people a new one, because if Tom doesn't see it and Curtis does, then obviously Tom's going to struggle to get back and defend it.
And there's been some discussion about the camera angle of Lasty, especially in the first and second games, where he uses like a camera angle to suit him best. Now, the camera angle I personally use on FIFA is 20 zoom and 0 for height, or maybe 0 for zoom and 20 for height, as Aubameyang is through here on goal for Capgun Tommy. Shoots, and that's another great save.
Could have been a penalty as well.
It could have been a penalty, but I use a camera that zooms so far out that I can see the whole pitch. Do you think if Tom's using maybe a camera that doesn't show too much of the pitch, Curtis can really, really abuse that?
Well, I use the camera which is currently being used now, because I like to see how many attackers have got forward, but in the back of my mind I always like to see how many defensive minded players there is, just in case. I do use the radar a lot, and Lasty will be known. I bet Lasty uses a radar a lot more than others, because he can't see anything on the pitch really, but if it works for him and it gets him wins, then so be it. It just may be uncomfortable for some people to view.
That's very, very true, and a nice attempt there from Curtis Morton. Unfortunately, able to make anything of it. Tom has had the better of the chances in the first half. He's had a couple of clear-cut chances that he really, really should have done better for. But going into the half-time whistle at 0-0, I think Curtis will probably be the happier of the two.
I don't think either of them will be happy, but both of them are after the win. No one wants to draw or lose in this league, but Curtis looks confident with them balls and going forward, but Tom's got closer to goal than Curtis currently. It's just whether Curtis can nick that goal and obviously upset Tom, because when Tom does start losing, he's very difficult to bring it back in here, whether it be FIFA or LOL, as you said. It's
very, very true, and we've got 3 minutes of injury time here, and Lewandowski here steals the ball off of David Luiz's feet, and it's going to go out for a corner right on the half-time mark. Now, if I know FIFA like I know FIFA, then this is resulting in a goal. Gundogan crosses the ball in. There is the header. Oh, the keeper has actually saved it. I was almost certain that was going to be a goal, but a good save there from Czech.
Yeah, and that just summed up the whole game. Nothing's been clear-cut, has it? Just the odd pop shots, and keepers have stood up well, especially Neuer. Neuer's had more saves than Czech's had to make this half.
Very, very true, and a lot of that can be credited to Curtis' decision-making, bringing the keeper out when he felt necessary and keeping him on his line again when he felt necessary. But Tom there has 4 shots and 4 on target to Curtis's 1 and 1 on target, or maybe the other way around there, actually. I think Tom just had... No, that was Curtis that had just the 1 shot, which was the header from the corner very, very late on. But an even game somewhat in terms of possession, and it's been very much a midfield battle. But I think Tom, after that first half performance, will be looking to go into the second half and pick up a goal and the 3 points.
Yeah, and
big name coming on there as well.
Yeah, that could be a game changer right there. And he's got 5-star skills, and he starts it off with a bit of freshness. But Ronaldo, whether he be on full chemistry or not, does. I was waiting for that.
Called offside there. He also brought on Jesus Navas for Kuba on the right-hand side of the park as well. Another rapid player. Now, I've used both of these guys extensively, Navas and Kuba, and I prefer Kuba to Navas. Navas feels a lot weaker on the ball.
Navas is good off ball, doing the diagonal high through balls to him. The pace he's got is ridiculous. I've not used his normal version, I've only used his inform, but I had so much fun with it. But then again, to use that type of player, you are paying a lot of coin.
You are, and Ronaldo's been put through here from Hazard. The keeper's going to collect that one, and a bit cheeky to put Ronaldo on as a striker instead of Benteke. However, with the fact that I don't believe Benteke gets perfect chemistry as a starter, it will also result in Ronaldo not getting perfect chemistry as a substitute, which could have an impact on his abilities in the game.
Yeah, that's something we're going to have to check after the game, isn't it, whether he was on full chem, because Tom's not usually someone who doesn't play He's not someone who does usually play with like 97, 96 chemistry. He likes the full chem teams, and he builds some nice hybrids on his channel as well.
And he's got a good chance here. Aubameyang there playing the ball through to Ronaldo. Ronaldo's pace is going to see him inside here. Nice little stop and turn. He shoots to the far post, but that finesse shot, very, very poor there. It does take a deflection. I don't think it was going in anyway. He's going to whip the corner in here. He's got a chance at the far post with the header. The keeper saves that one again. Neuer having a cracking game.
Yeah, and Tom will notice that Curtis does not like skills either. You saw him do the quick turn on him, and Curtis kept on running. So if Tom keeps having fun with that skill stick, you never know, it could put him with an open chance, and maybe the first decent skill run of the league.
Could be indeed, and we've got Curtis Morton here, picks up a throw in deep in his own half. He'll be able to get out of his half. Not many times has he been out of his half in this half or in the first half indeed. But Tom here has got the ball back very, very quickly and seems to be the aggressor in this game. Seems to be the one more interested in going forwards and picking up the 3 points, but that could leave him exposed at the back, just like it has here. We've got Aubameyang there, shoots to the far post, and that is a bread and butter finish for Aubameyang that he's messed up there.
Yeah, he slowed down for some reason. He could have took that another 2 or 3 yards forward, but he cut inside, and obviously that was his not his favoured foot, and just blasted it over the bar. A bit too much power on the shot, it looked like, as well.
Was probably just a bit too much power on the shot, and maybe it's just still them getting used to these next gen settings. They are slightly different to the previous gen, to the Xbox 360 settings. You can be afforded a little bit more power when you shoot, but not to the point where you're going to be putting it over the bar with someone like Aubameyang, where the shot across the keeper, as we discussed in the last show, is one of the better shots this year as well.
Yeah, it's a lot better. My shot I like to take where you run out and shoot to the far post. So many success rate from them, it's unbelievable, and I know a few people who've started applying it and saying it works as well. And but with Tom and Curtis getting used to the gameplay as well.
Oh, what a goal! That is an insane header. I don't think he knew what was going on there. The ball came across from the cross. He hit the far post header. I think the defender got there in front, and there was what it looks like Aubameyang there, just diving in out of absolutely nowhere for the header.
Yeah, that was like an automated dive, like it wasn't meant to be done by Tom. It was like a computer goal, wasn't it?
That was a computer goal.
It's not automated on, very strange, but Tom's got the lead now.
And it seems like Curtis there, who was playing ultra defensive, has now moved on to balance, which he's going to have to do if he wants to get up the field. And it's a bit of a strange mindset for him to start ultra defensive. That's not necessarily the thing you would do to start the game with, especially in such an important game where you need the goals and you need the points.
Yeah, and maybe he's looked at Tom's last score where he did get a lot of goals and thought he needs to be on the safe side, because he will have played Tom this year for sure and know how he plays, and maybe with Tom doing the high through balls a lot, the ultra defensive part will keep the centre backs a lot closer to the goalkeeper than necessarily were before. But
with 23 minutes to go here, Tom's looking quite comfortable in this game now. I did feel like it was just a matter of time before he scored, as Aubameyang there picks up a yellow card for a dirty tackle a few minutes earlier. Very, very bad challenge there in the middle of the park. Probably could have been sent off there. Yeah. Terrible tackle there on Mats Hummels. And Tom now will feel relieved that he's got the lead, even to the point where, should he concede a goal, it's not that big of a deal. Like, a point is still a point. Now he'll be able to open up his play a little bit more and start using the skills.
Yeah, and if he keeps doing them, he's gone for the tramp.
Oh, that's a good
what
save.
A save that was. But Curtis hasn't really done much. He's hitting, hoping up to Aubameyang and Lewandowski, but not really holding onto the ball a lot. And as you can tell, he has got more possession than Tom, which is very surprising, because he's rushing his attack too much, in my opinion. I
think a lot of the reason why he has more possession, because there's games that I play where I feel like I've controlled possession and chances, and the possession's very even. I think it's for the simple fact that Tom's having so many attacks that the goalkeeper and defence are getting the ball back so often that it's evening the possession stats out.
Yeah, that could be the issue, and Tom needs to be. Tom and Curtis are sliding all over the place.
Yeah, Aubameyang picking up his second yellow of the game, but no red card for him this game. He's obviously got one for each team, but very maybe Curtis showing a bit of frustration there that he hasn't been able to play his game against Tom.
Yeah, Tom's done well too. Well, especially after bringing on Ronaldo, he's just changed the game, hasn't he? Tom's aiming towards him and doing chip through balls to him, and obviously the player he's linking up with as well.
And here we have got Cristiano Ronaldo fighting for the ball, but it finds its way to Diego in the middle, who gives it to Aubameyang. On the right-hand side here, Navas with Piszczek in a lot of space. He's got a good option for crossing now, because Ronaldo and Aubameyang both strong with their head, and the ball goes all the way across, but it finds itself with Aubameyang at the top of the box. Tom goes for the shot. Could have been a penalty there. The referee didn't give it, and now Curtis can hit him on the counter-attack. And from the way this game's going, it looks like the only way Curtis is going to score is from the counter-attack.
Yeah, but look how many players Tom's got back already after his... Well, he puts a lot of players up for his attack, does Tom. Brings in the right back and the left back to help the attacks. But when it comes to defending, they're all back instantly as well. So Tom's doing quite well to sort that out.
And that's based, in my opinion, solely due to the pace of Clichy and Piszczek down those two wings, so if they can get involved in both attack and defence. We've got Ronaldo here with a nice hocus-pocus, but it's defended well from Dante, and maybe a bit too cocky from Tom there. He would have been better served just putting the ball in the box and trying to get that second goal, because if Curtis does come back, he'll look at some of the chances he's missed and maybe regret the way he's played.
Yeah, well, we all know when the 90th minute starts to loom, a lot of FIFA gods come out and add some dodgy styles to the play, don't they? And maybe give up that one goal which Curtis needs, and it'll really annoy Tom if he goes and slips up and loses the 3 points here.
Well, he's had another attack there, and Curtis at the moment is struggling to even get out of his half, but he's played a long through ball through there, and the defender decided he wanted to leave that one alone, and Tom smashes that clear. It gets very fortunate that it falls to Aubameyang, who plays a 1-2 with Ronaldo. He gives it back to Ronaldo, who just didn't quite get onto the ball, and that could have been curtains there for Curtis, but instead he has got another chance. It's massive amounts of defence back here for Tom. He's got 5-6 men back. Aubameyang picks the ball up the right-hand side, and Clichy is just too quick for Aubameyang there. He steps inside. He gets very, very lucky with a couple of bounces. It finds its way to Cristiano Ronaldo, and he's going for that quick 1-2 chip through balls again. Dante putting a big leg out there, and Ronaldo missing the ball completely, and Curtis gets away with yet another defensive error.
Yeah, and I think that's game dealt for Tom now. He's in the attacking position. There's 5 minutes of extra of injury time, but Curtis is still rushing it. He's put it on ultra attack as well, which is what he should have done maybe in the 80th minute, just to try and get that goal. And
Tom's going to play the free kick out here to Ronaldo, who gives it back to Jesus Navas, who shoots, and that one goes wide. And that's very true. Playing ultra attacking though is very, very dangerous, because you leave yourself wide open.
Yeah, it's one of them things you need to do, or if you're in a losing position and maybe want to get a draw, that's the only time I would ever do it, is in the last 10 minutes of a game. If you're losing by 4-0 at half time, and then you go and put ultra attacking on, you're going to lose like 8 or 9-0.
We've got a final chance here for Capgun Tom in the 90th minute. That's another great save for Neuer, who's kept this scoreline respectable at 1-0. This could have been any result at this stage. Tom, though, whipping the corner in. Aubameyang is there at the far post. The keeper again coming out, making a big save. Clichy steps inside, but the keeper blows for a full time, and Tom will be delighted with the 3 points.
Yeah, that's a very well-earned 3 points from Tom. He's kept Curtis out of the game. He's not had one clear... Well, I think he's had one clear chance, and that was from a header off a corner, which I remember. But Neuer's kept the score sheet down. That's why I rate him as one of the best keepers on the game, and maybe a few other opponents need to get him in there as well to stop them conceding some goals.
Maybe they do. Oddly, it was Younes Kaboul, the goal scorer of the goal. I thought it was Aubameyang, but Kaboul, for some reason, up front scoring the goals. So there is the first result. Capgun Tom 1, Curtis Moore 0, picking up 3 points and propelling himself up the table into the mix now for the remainder 6 games that he's going to be able to play. But let's get into game number 2. So as we enter game 2 of today, we've got Biscuit Face Gaming employing a 4-3-1-2 against Lucas's 4-1-2-1-2. Biscuit Face Gaming with his Leighton Baines in form. He also has Sergio Aguero in form up front alongside Luis Suarez, Nasri, Torre, Cabaye and Silva in midfield, as a long through ball there comes through very early on, and David Luiz clears that, with Company Luiz in form, Baines and Walker in defence, and Joe Hart in goal. And then we have Lucas, who is lining up, but we've got Aubameyang here with the first chance of the game, almost this is very, very attacking stuff from Lucas straight away in the first 4 minutes. We've got Lucas with Lewandowski and Aubameyang up front, Götze, Royce, Farfan and Gustavo in midfield, Alaba, Boateng, Santana and Piszczek in defence with Adler in goal. And there is another cross, and what a goal that was. Very, very easy cross, easy header, easy goal. After being on the back foot for the first 5 minutes of the game, he finds himself scoring with his first attack.
Yeah, and Lucas looked dangerous going on the attack, but then again, that's how Biscuit's been scoring a lot of goals, is by getting him on the counter, playing some nice football forward. He did a nice bit of, I think it was a nice turn with Suarez, and then set the wing up free. But that will be a massive shock to Lucas's system, because his last result was a loss against Math Denton, so he's definitely looking to get his faith in his team up there, because he's stuck with the Bundesliga team, and Biscuits stayed with his reliable BPL team, which has got him 6 points already in this league.
He has. He's got 2 wins out of 2 so far, and we discussed at the top of the show that they're not the prettiest of wins. A 3-2 and a 2-1, not the most convincing. He's not destroying people, but he is getting the job done.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much you win by, a win's a win, and if he's getting them and he wins the league, then no one's going to have any complaints there. But Lucas is a very dangerous
he
attacker.
Scored a goal right back, and after 11 minutes, Lewandowski there ties the game up at 1-1. Now, what we're seeing a lot this series is a lot of crosses and not really too much play through the middle, but there are some really dangerous positions to cross from. The first goal that Biscuit Face scored, where you're almost in the corner flag, hitting that cross almost always results in a goal.
Yeah. I don't really cross that often. The only time I resort to crossing is when the opponent's very solid in the centre of defence, and with a lot of the opponents resorting to crossing quite early on in games, it shows how much high quality players we've got in this league.
It does, and we got here Biscuit Face Gaming doing some steady attacking. Aguero here passing it through to Suarez. Aguero picking it back up. He sends that through to David Silva, who shoots, and that is a phenomenal save from Adler there. We've got 2 goalkeepers here who don't really have the most kind of respect within the FIFA community. Joe Hart, who always causes errors, and Rene Adler there, who is a massive understudy compared to Neuer.
Yeah, a lot of people have a love-hate for Neuer as well. They either love him or they hate him. I absolutely love him. I know Finch absolutely hates him. I even know that Zweibach absolutely hates him as well, because he puts Adler in his teams over him. But I think it's just look as to whether you love or hate them, because it always drops down to how you concede your goals, and if you want to put the blame on the goalkeeper, so be it. And I know your hate for Joe Hart's because he fumbles a lot and then the opponent scores off the rebound, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he fumbles literally like some shots that you would expect even me to just run along and pick up, you know, if I was playing in the game. But we've got some great attacking play here from Lucas, and if he finishes this move off, it will be a beautiful finish. And Royce there unable to convert the chance, and Luis there just kicking the ball all the way out to Suarez. And these are very much, they've both gone from wing play in the first 10 minutes to chip through balls in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's they're still trying to figure each other out, because Lucas and Biscuit are quite similar players, aren't they? In the way they attack, they're adapting well to defending the way they're attacking as well. Because otherwise, we could have seen quite a few more goals, because 2 early goals in the game will have settled the nerves for both players, and over the top through balls are working for both of them.
They are, and we've got Aubameyang here with a little bit of space on the edge of the box. He sends that through to Luis Gustavo, who is left-footed. He does take a shot, but it's defended well and then poorly. David Luiz again finally clearing the ball, and we can break away here with Aguero trying to thread that ball through to the right, even though there wasn't really a pass on, and the 1-2 through ball here from Aubameyang is on. He eventually does chip that through to Lewandowski. He did have space down that right hand side, but Lewandowski here is going to pick the ball back up. He has the shot, it deflects off the defender, and I don't think Biscuit Face Gaming knew what to do in defence there.
No, I did notice with what he was doing then. Oh, he's looking not to take the lead with that one. But Biscuit's got Yaya Toure in the centre of midfield, and he's using him as bolstering the numbers when he's attacking. But unfortunately, when you're playing against Lucas, you need that defensive style midfielder there, and he's taking him up and leaving him quite open to some heavy attacks from Lucas.
So what he's got right now is a 4-3-1-1-2, where he's got an attacking midfielder in David Silva, and he's got 3 central midfielders in Nasri, Toure and Kabai. What he could employ is the 4-1-2-1-2 with 2 central midfielders and a central defensive midfielder, and put Toure in that slot instead to really give him that extra man in defence.
Yeah, usually just have a defensive-minded player in there, but it's just a shame that Touré is seen as both an attacking and a defending midfielder. Maybe putting the likes of maybe Lucas Leiva in there, even though he's not as high rated.
We've got a cross here from Walker.
Popular. No,
sorry,
he's not popular as well, is he?
Yeah, your Skype call cut out there for a second, so if you want to just repeat what you were saying.
Yeah, with Yaya Touré, which he's got in the centre of defensive midfield now, he's used him as an attacking and a defensive-minded player. But maybe Biscuit may need to switch him up for just a sole BPL defensive midfielder, maybe the likes of Diaby, who's a very strong and holds his position very well.
He does, and we got another attack here. Kun Aguero there playing the ball through, but the keeper's going to pick that up, no problem at all with Adler. No worries for that, and he's going to punt that long. It's been a bit of an interesting first half so far. We had the first few minutes was dominated by Lucas, and then Biscuit hit him on the counter and scored. Lucas didn't take too long to tie the game up, but since then they just haven't been able to settle down and play any kind of decent football here.
Yeah, both of them are. It's end-to-end stuff, but there's it's lacking the final product at the moment. Hopefully, in the second half, we'll see a few more goals. But I can't see which way it's going to come from. Lucas is very strong on the attack. He's had more chances than Biscuit has. Biscuit just seems to be running into all of Lucas's players.
He does, but Biscuit will be looking to steal another win here. However, Lewandowski has been played down the left-hand side. He's got a bit of space. He's got two men in the box if he wants to cross. He goes for the stop and turn, but Walker is going to have no problems defending that. And if Biscuit FaZe Gaming can steal another win here, not to take anything away from his first two victories, but we've seen some cracking football from. There's a great save from Joe Hart parrying that one onto the post. However, we've seen some great football from some great FIFA players so far. Biscuit isn't the sort of person, although he's picking up wins, that you sit there and consider a great football player or great FIFA player, but he's picking up the points, and if he can do the same again, he might just become one of the dark horses and the favourites to win the whole thing.
Yeah, even if he's feeling a lot pressured by Lucas, even holding out for the draw could see him win the league, because taking 2 points off Lucas, but yet again taking 1 point from a game he felt like he could lose, could work out well at the end. It
will be a very good result for him no matter. As long as he doesn't lose, I think he'll be very happy going into round 4. 2 goals so far in this game, both headers, 1 goal in the last game, of course a header from Yunus Kabul to take just a very low scoring 1-0 win. I think that's the lowest scoring game so far, but as you can see, we've got Lucas with 7 shots, 4 on target and just the 1 goal, and Biscuit FaZe Gaming 2 shots, 2 on target, just the 1 goal, but even in possession. So it just goes to show it's not necessarily about how many chances you have and how many shots you take, but it's just how many that you put in the back of the net.
Yeah, and that's the rule which Jessie plays FIFA by as well. She can only have 1 or 2 chances a game, but she's more than likely going to put one of them away and maybe upset the opponent. And if Biscuit keeps on crossing the ball in, you never know, he might get another.
He might, and we've got Aguero with a header there, saved by Adler, and Suarez with the follow-up, unable to do anything with it. And now we've got the break on from Lucas here, but Touré does well to stop that, and we've got Suarez there offside. Now, looking at both these players, they can both go on to win it, but there is also the option that it's a short league, but it's so tight so far with everyone all dropping points, with the exception of Biscuit FaZe Gaming, as Goetze goes through on goal there, that if you do have a couple of bad results, you could slip right down the table and find yourself in the battle of the bottom places.
Yeah, I did notice that a few people in the comment section yesterday were talking about Hussein, a fan favourite and a very tough opponent, when he was sat either 6th or 7th in the table. But that shows like 2 victories and someone loses twice could catapult you up to the top 2 or maybe even top place.
We could, and there's Goetze there with a great goal, just a phenomenal strike there. If you're not composed enough in that sort of situation, you're going to shoot that straight at the keeper. He took the extra touch that he needed, and now he finds himself 2-1 up, and Lucas is doing everything to try and put Biscuit FaZe Gaming away and take his first loss here.
Yeah, Biscuit's unfortunately resorting to playing the crossing, but he hasn't got the strikers there to have the capabilities of maybe being a lot more dominant in the air, even though we have seen Sergio get 1 goal already. If he's got the likes of maybe Lukaku, Benteke, or even some tall, decent rated striker with a decent heading stat, he could get a few more goals. Because he's only had 2 chances, I think it was. But if he'd whipped him in maybe once or twice, he may have a better success getting a goal that way.
And that's the problem with the BPL and the strikers, if you do try and play a crossing game, is that there aren't that many target men that are great for heading. I mean, like you said, you've got Lukaku, you've got Benteke, but then you have to resort to people, and I say resort in the nicest way possible, like Bentner and like Crouch, the kind of guys that literally they're there in joking squads. They're there for, if you haven't got coins for any other player, they're there because they have got good heading abilities and they are tall and can win headers, but ultimately you want anybody else.
Yeah, there is one striker in the BPL who I know I can rate as a very strong, very low rated and very decent at heading striker, and that striker is Altidore as well. Very strange choice, very cheap as well. And I do remember you having a lot of success at the start of FIFA 14 with a certain player called Andy Carroll.
Yeah, Carroll, he scored around 50 goals in 30 games for me, Andy Carroll, when I first got him. But he's not... The reason why you don't look to him game after game is because if you come up against a defence that's solid, he's just not good enough. Like, he's too low rated. You know, when you think of like the high rated gold players, the high rated gold strikers, they've got attributes in all areas. So if you've got a defender that's fast, they can win, you know, strength or technical abilities or heading. If you've got a defender that's tall, they can outpace them. But with Andy Carroll, you literally just had heading and it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, and that changes your whole style of play of the game as well, because when you're playing with him, you're usually crossing the ball to him for him to get his head on it. But I have seen a lot of people with BPL teams resorting to Lukaku and Benteke, mainly down to the strength.
And we've got Aubameyang scoring another goal, a carbon copy of the finish from Mario Götze just 20 or so minutes earlier. And that is now 3-1 for Lucas, and that is going to be him running away with 3 points. And Biscuit's 2 wins out of 2 is going to come to an end here. His run is going to come to an end, and this is going to open the table up massively. And most importantly, Finch is going to be the happiest guy right now.
Yeah, watching this game and watching him sit pretty top for another match day will entertain him, and also give him the confidence to go on and maybe get a few more wins under his belt. But I think Biscuit really needs to keep himself closed in defence, and that's because he needs to be careful of the goal difference he's giving away at the moment. If he goes on to lose this game 5-1, that's all his hard work in the first 2 games just gone out the window.
It is. The thing I noticed most with Biscuit is his defence is pushed up so high. Like, you look at him now, he's only got the ball just inside his own half, but his defence are on the halfway line. So every time Lucas is getting the ball, he's got so much space to just drop in behind, a chip through ball in behind, and the pace of Aubameyang is frightening. You got to be addressing that situation there and playing a bit more defensively.
Yeah, well, look where Yaya Toure is as well. He's right outside the area, and when you're trying to defend... Ooh, I thought that was a nice sunken free kick then with Baines, but it wasn't. Yeah, he's doing 1-2s with players he shouldn't really do. I wouldn't start 1-2 the ball until I hit the right, the 2 side centre midfielders. I wouldn't be doing them with Yaya Toure.
It's very true, but Lucas here will be licking his lips at the prospect of moving up into second in the table if he can keep this sort of score up. He obviously had a high goal difference in the first game that will see him, I think, pretty much guaranteed second if he managed to win this game by 2 or more goals, which is currently what he's doing. So sitting second after match day 3, not too bad. With 6 games to go will be very nice, and he's going to have another chance here down the left hand side. Alaba with a little bit of space, he whips that ball into the far post. Hart parries that one out. Farfan is going to pick up the loose ball, a lovely little touch there to bring the ball under control, but he crosses that one straight into the arms of Hart. And with 13 minutes left here, I mean, in FIFA, you can concede 2 really quick goals, even sometimes 3 or 4 in the space of 10 or 12 minutes. But Lucas is defending magnificently and is attacking very, very well.
Yeah, his play style is different to what he's been doing. Well, he's definitely switched up his since his last game, because he had an absolute shocker against Math, and I'm sure all Lucas's fans will be relishing the prospect of him going on and going up to second place, and also looking forward to the next couple of games he's got, because he has played a few tough ones recently.
He has, and like, again, there's never any disrespect intended to any of the people within the tournament, but he's got a few of the harder games out of the way. He'll be looking to hopefully go on and maybe even pick up a win out of every game left available to him.
Yeah, and that's definitely possible. What we've got to look for now is how Biscuit responds, because even though Biscuit is going to lose this game, there's not a chance he's going to pull this back now. It's how he responds in the next couple of games which he's got, because he's got some very difficult opponents coming up as well. He
has, and of course there's always that that game against Fangs that, although it should realistically be the easiest win, it's also the game that you're always most nervous for, just in case she takes the points off of you.
Yeah, and you've always got that in the back of your mind. Like, I've played Jessie a few times, and I'm quite a decent FIFA player ability-wise, and I can grind out a win if I want. But when you over-try, and Jessie does make you try hard to beat her, it can sometimes end up falling on your face with it, and I've lost a few. I think I've lost 2 games to her in this game, mainly because I am trying that hard and she just catches me on the counter.
Yeah, she's very, very good at that. And we've got the 90th minute coming up here. Kyle Walker there plays the ball into David Silva, who goes for the shot, but it's defended well. And this is going to be a very easy, very comfortable win for Lucas, even though at the start of the game he did find himself 1-0 down after just 5 minutes. And Lewandowski here with a bit of space, and it's maybe a foul there. Not really a foul in my book, but the referee has given it. Lewandowski with the quick free kick into Mario Götze, and David Luiz defends very, very well. And the problem right there is the fact that Biscuit is just lumping chip through balls through, hoping to run onto them, rather than playing them through tactically and knowing that a striker is going to get onto them.
Yeah, and unfortunately he hasn't got the strikers to do that with.
He hasn't, and I don't know if that was a full-time whistle or a rage quit there, but either way there's a 3-1 win for Lucas, so he picks up 3 more points, putting them on to 6 for the first 3 games, and Biscuit Face Gaming also remains on 6, taking a 3-1 loss, and we will see you guys for the 3rd game. So the 3rd and final game of today sees Maf Denton line up against Zwebeck, and Maf is employing the 4-3-1-2 formation and moves straight onto ultra defensive for this game as well. He's got Julio Cesar in goal, Alves, Silva, Rever and Marcelo in defence. He's still got his Fernandinho, Ronaldinho, Luis Gustavo and Diego in midfield, with Aubameyang and Lewandowski out front. And then we have Zwebeck with the 4-1-2-1-2, Adler again in goal. Just like in the last game, we've seen Adler more than Neuer again. We've got Philip Lahm, Boateng, Dante and Alaba in defence, with Luis Gustavo at CDM, Götze at cam, Royce and Shaqiri on the wings, with again Aubameyang and Lewandowski up front. Now Ryan will be really looking to get a win under his belt, because he's only got the 1 point from his first 2 games. He sat down there in 9th place along with Fangbanger, who's only got the 1 point from the first 2 games. As a shot hits the post there, a really good shot. The keeper had no chance. But Maf will be on a high after picking up a win against Lucas in the last game.
Yeah, and he had a lot of fun. And with Maf, he's the only one that I know has used his team all the way throughout the league. He definitely hasn't changed anything up, so he'll know this team inside out now. And I do know he plays with it outside of the league as well. So hopefully that will show. But Ryan needs a kick up the arse, really, because he hasn't done anything in the last 2 games, has he? He got a draw against Fangs, which he should have won, but he just looked a bit overconfident. He needs to start playing stuff a lot simpler, the 1-2s, and start shooting on sight rather than waiting to go on and shoot.
Yeah, but one of the things with Ryan is, right now with his current YouTube series, he's on tilt. He's losing every wager he's playing. He's just desperate for a win anywhere at the moment, and maybe that could be something that will work in Maf's favour, as Ryan probably tries too hard to get the win.
Yeah, because Ryan has had a bad period, transition period with next gen and current gen, but also he was having a bad period on last gen as well, where he was losing a lot of games. And look, when the game feels like it's going against you, luck is never on your side. But Ryan just needs that one bit of luck, maybe get him a bit of confidence in front of goal, get him a goal maybe against Maf, and maybe that'll change Maf's where Maf lines up as well.
But against the #1 Welsh FIFA skiller, that's not going to be an easy task. And the first 15 minutes of this game has seen Maf really be the more dominant player in the midfield. Ryan has had a few like minor attacks. Neither player has had something too crazy, apart from that shot from Ryan, which is a bit of a pot shot from Lewandowski. But right here, we've seen for the second time the ball just go past the midfield of Ryan and through to the attack of Maf Denton. He's got Lewandowski here doing some skills, probably unnecessarily. He could have crossed it in a little bit earlier, but he does win a corner from that attack. And with Aubameyang and Lewandowski as your 2 strikers in the box, you're always going to be dangerous from corners. Now, we spoke to Maf off air, if you like, and he's going to be looking to get some custom set pieces set up, because he does go for an ultra defensive from the outset, which leaves you just 2 men in the box. Now, FIFA Rally and FIFA 13 created an exceptional set piece where you could score overhead kicks from almost every single corner. If Maf gets something like that, he'll be dangerous, because he seems to get a lot of corners.
Yeah, and it's just a shame that he hasn't got the bodies in the box. But then again, he has proved to us that you don't need 2 people in the box, because I think he did get 1 or 2 corner goals against Lucas last game.
He did, and he's got Diego here at the top of the box. He crosses that one to the far post, but unfortunately Aubameyang is unable to win the ball. And what Maf does well, which is annoying to play against, but very, very good for you if you're able to do it, is when you're in situations like you're in the box, weaving the player or using the player at walking pace really confuses the attacker, because they expect you to either shoot, cross, or be powering a run into goal. So when, like, he was there with Diego, he was literally able to quite simply walk around the defence.
Yeah, and it feels good as well. I love walking around people's defence. They think you're going to do something, but then you do something else, and it annoys. Oh, and brilliant defending there by Maf to stop them going 1-0 down. But weaving in and out of defenders is so fun to do. It can even give you penalties and better looking goals as well, and Maf does it very well.
He does do it well, and he's got Lewandowski here looking for the stop and turn by looks of things, but the defence was pretty decent there. He does manage to pull the ball back in front of him for the cross. He's crossed it to the far post, but Adler is there to pick the ball off of Aubameyang's head, and Maf doesn't want to be crossing the ball with his strikers. Now, it's interesting because most of his game this game has been crosses and wing play, but from the strikers rather than from wingers, because he doesn't have any. If you're looking at this game, if you're coming up to half-time as we are, and you're Maf and you've realised that most of your stuff's coming from the wing, do you change formation? Do you maybe put some wingers out there, go for a 4-3-3 or a 4-1-2-1-2?
I would basically stick with what he's got, but change the way he's playing. Now with Ryan and the way he defends, just do 1-2s, and Maf was doing that awesome against Lucas in the last game, 1-2 straight through, because he hasn't got the pace with Ronaldinho or even Gustavo either. But if he starts doing the 1-2s, maybe pull Ryan's defence out a little bit, he could leave for an over the top through ball to Aubameyang and Lewandowski, who are very competent in attack by themselves.
They are, and he does chip the ball through there again, but Luis Gustavo for Ryan is able to mop that one up. And Ryan has got Alves on one wing and Marcelo on the other. Marcelo not the fastest, I think he has 84 pace, I do believe, but Dani Alves is quite rapid and has got an incredible shot and cross on him, one of the highest stat players in the game in total. Like, if you add all his stats together, he is one of the most well-rounded players, so maybe he can look to use him a little bit more down the wings. But he's got Ronaldinho here on the right wing, and he's going to be waggling that little stick around, trying to get some skill moves off there, which is exactly what he does. But Ryan bullies him out of that with Dante, who can throw that back in. And coming up towards half-time, it's been a bit of a stale game so far, not too many chances, but Maf does just about look like the person that might go on to get something out of this.
Yeah, he's had a lot more opportunities. He just needs to swap who he's crossing the ball in with. He did have a nice bit of success there with doing the 1-2s and freeing up Ronaldinho down the wing, but then he was clueless as to what to do. He just needs to get the ball to Aubameyang when he's free, and also Lewandowski as well. So both of them have got an awesome shot on them.
He's going to have a chance here. Marcelo crossing that in. The header is there and saved very well by Adler. And that has been a story of today. You know, it's not been too many goals. We had 1-0 in the first game, a 3-1 in the second game. It's 0-0 approaching half-time in the third and final game of this match day. And of course, if you guys want to tweet about the society, tweet at myself, at NepentheZ, or at Bateson87, and use the hashtag the society to get involved in any kind of conversation and discussion we've going. And leave in the comment section below as well the player of the day. So far, of course, it's looking like it would be Lucas, but either one of these guys could take it. And that is a beautiful touch from Ronaldinho, the goalkeeper. It saves it magnificently after a first block as well, and he was absolutely sold there's way back. He doesn't know what to do when Maf does the skills.
No, and that's been the same when Tom does it as well. Not many people are expecting skills in this league, but that's why Ryan loves Adler over Neuer, because he does pull off, he has pulled off some insane saves in this game. But by looks of Maf, he needs to get the ball to Ronaldinho a lot more, because he's very confident in his ability. And also Ryan was unlucky not to be taking the lead into the break as well, because Maf did get a block on the line as well.
He did, and there's 54% possession for Maf. The passing very similar. 3 shots and 3 on target for Maf, and 4 and 3 on target for Ryan. So it's still able to go absolutely any way so far. You see the tackles though. Maf has only put in 2 tackles to Ryan's 5. Now, sometimes I play games and I'm absolutely all over someone, and by the end of the game I've got like 6-10 tackles and they've got like 18 to 20 tackles, and it just goes to show that maybe you've been on the back foot a lot, but if you're pulling off those defensive tackles solidly, you've always got the opportunity to break and score.
Yeah, and both of them are doing it quite well. Like, I thought there was a lot more tackles in that half made by them, but it's mainly just the positioning of the players in it as well, which Maf and Ryan are keeping quite good. There's not really been many gaps for Maf to have fun with, but Ryan just needs to get a few more attacks on the board, not caring about the tackles, and just start getting some shots away, because it's like he's waiting till he's 100% sure there's a decent scoring opportunity, but sometimes you just need to hit and hope.
Yeah, there's been a few times I actually conceded a goal to a random guy I was playing online a few days ago. He had Juan Mata in his team, and he was easily where the referee's standing now. He was around there right now, and he shot from there, and it flew straight in, and I couldn't believe it. Like, I was absolutely shocked that it managed to go in from that far. And if Ryan employs that sort of attitude as well, just has a shot every now and then, you know, he's got some good finishers on his team. He's got Royce, Goetze, Lewandowski. They've all got really high shooting stats. He might just find himself scoring a wonder goal.
Yeah, Lewandowski is an absolute beast for long shots as well. When I was playing the gen which they're playing currently, Lewandowski's shot outside the area is ridiculous, and when you've got Aubameyang next to him for the snapshots inside the area, it's one of the perfect strike partnerships on the game, and it's why a lot of players are adapting to that strike force in this league.
Now Ryan here has been a bit clumsy in defence. He's very fortunate to be able to walk away with the ball with no problems at all there, and he gives the ball away again to Maf in midfield. Ryan's got a bit of an interesting defence here. He's gone for Boateng and Dante instead of Hummels or Santana, or even Naldo, who's not really one that we've seen at all this series, but is also a very strong defender. But he's got Lahm at right back, which I find interesting, because for me, Piszczek is a much better right back.
Yeah, Ryan, being a Bundesliga fan himself, probably won him in a wager, or he hasn't wagered him yet, because if Ryan did a wager or a pink slip with him, he'd probably lose him as well, like he's done previously with all the other versions of Lamb.
We've got Alaba here down the left hand side.
It looks like Ryan definitely needs to switch some up, whether it be the team or the formation, because it's definitely not working for him, and he's going for passes which aren't there, and he's hoping they're going to get there, and they just don't.
Yeah, he's playing very blind, as we like to say in the FIFA community. He's blind passes there, just hitting and hoping that they find someone. But Maf is playing a bit more confident, but Maf will be disappointed that after 62 minutes here, maybe 65 minutes going in, that he hasn't been able to score yet, because he'll see this as 2 points dropped if he doesn't go on to get a win. And he has the ball here with Ronaldinho. Fernandinho chips that ball through, but Dante defends very well. Royce has the ball now, picks it up, gives it to Lewandowski. Aubameyang plays it right to Shaqiri, who's got a bit of pace and a nice bit of space as well, but defended very well from Rever. Again, another person, a centre-back, Bateson Rever, someone that you just don't see.
No, and he got a Team of the Season card last year, and I was alerted to his potential. And because he's a non-rare player, he's really cheap, but he's got some of the decent stats you need for a defender.
Yeah, he's got very high defending and very high heading, yeah.
Yeah, and Maf does actually need him in the team to get full chemistry with Ronaldinho to be in there. So I think if he ever took Rever out, he just wouldn't be able to replace with another style of player like Ronaldinho.
That's very true, and Maf had an outstanding opportunity there. He rushed that shot. He was in so much space in the box. He could have taken a touchdown and just passed that one past the keeper, really. And Ryan will count himself lucky that he's still in this game, really. Maf has been all over him this second half, and Ryan's had just a few counter-attacking opportunities, as it looks like Aubameyang there perhaps was offside from the chip-through ball. Neither guy unable to score so far, 75 minutes into the game. This is a serious case of either this being a 0-0 draw or first goal wins.
Yeah, and I think if anyone's going to win, it's going to be Maf. Unfortunately, Ryan just isn't doing anything which is making me feel confident about the result. But a 0-0 draw will be quite boring for the league. But then it's points which Ryan may need in the future.
He may, but I tell you what, Jesse will be happy to see Ryan just drawing and potentially losing this game. The more points dropped around her, the better for her. But Ryan has got a corner here. He whips in with Lahm. There is the header. Julio Cesar saves that one, just like he did with the shot before. A really strong save as well from Julio Cesar. And that is a great goal kick out to Lewandowski. And if Maf is clever about this, he can find himself in a bit of space and maybe having a shot. But he decides to back off and wait for the forces to come up front with him. He gives the ball there to Ronaldinho, and he chips that one through completely blind again with Ronaldinho, and Royce can come away here, and Ryan will be looking to get onto 2 points after this game, after 3 games. That will pretty much rule him out of the championship.
Yeah, and unfortunately he did have a game where it was seen as an easy 3 points, and that was against Jesse, but he has got a few tougher opponents coming up soon as well, and if he's struggling against Maf, then everyone else will just go absolutely ham on him, especially because his defence looks quite all over the place as well in some periods. But he definitely needs to sort that attack out, because he's just not taking any risks, and FIFA's a game where you do need to take risks.
That's very true. And Adler there with a wonder save in the 80th minute. They're the sort of crosses that you expect goals of every time, and if the keeper usually saves it like that, you usually get the rebound header and tuck it away again. And he finds himself here on the break with Shaqiri. He had a bit of space to play the striker through there, but Marcelo defends well, and this is now turned into a bit of a scrappy last 10 minutes. Both guys looking for the win. Maf here has got a chance to break. Aubameyang threads that through to Lewandowski. He's looking for a stop and turn perhaps, but actually plays it through to Gustavo, who gives it back to Lewandowski, crosses out to the far post. That's not going to go anywhere near anyone, but Dani Alves finds himself atop the box. He's got the 4-star skill moves if he wants to use him. He decides against it. Luis Gustavo again here chips that through to Diego, who shoots, and Adler saves that again, and Maf has got a corner in the dying minutes, and he could use a custom set piece here, that's for sure.
Yeah, if this will be a goal, it will be very disappointing for Ryan to concede it, but Mafs will look the better on the attack, and he has deserved a goal. Just Adler's been there to equal out his attacks every time.
And we've got Ronaldinho taking the corner. The header is there. Oh, that's another fantastic save from Adler, who has really, really kept Ryan in this game. Thiago Silva with the ball, plays it back into Lewandowski. Lewandowski looking for some space, looking for an opening here. Diego has the ball down the left-hand side. Ryan stepped inside, leaving him some space. He gets to cross that one to the far post, and that has gone out of play, and Ryan will breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, Matt's been looking like he's having a bit of fun now. He's actually realised what Ryan's struggling with, and that is crossing and weaving in and out, trying to bring more players into the game. But unfortunately, it's not looking good for Ryan. He just needs to hold out for a few more minutes and hopefully walk away with 1 point, which I think by the end of the league he may need.
He could steal it here though. Lewandowski's taken the ball. He shoots. That is a great save from Julio Cesar. He should have been way more composed. He could have finessed that around the keeper. I personally would have taken a shot about here, finessing that. He took it a little bit too far, maybe one step too far. Ryan now has got a chance. He's using the balance formation, so he's got 4 men in the box. The cross comes in. Oh, it falls all the way to Dani Alves at the far post, and he's going to get away with that one. Math, some really bad defending there. Could have given all points away. Aubameyang, though, plays that to Gustavo, who gives it away. Gustavo into Diego. Gustavo again. He's got Diego on the chip through ball. Diego can go on and win it here, but the defender's going to pick that up. No problem. And Boateng there clears that. And I think Ryan will probably be the happier with the point. But after that last few minutes there, Math will feel relieved.
I think Ryan won't be happy with the point now, especially after fluffing that final chance. He could have walked away with all 3. Math will be wiping the sweat from his brow as well, because he got saved. Really saved. Ryan definitely chose the wrong type of shot and the wrong position. He maybe even could have slowed down, waited for Aubameyang to catch up and slot it across for a tramp and make it a 1-0 win. But unfortunately, it's 0-0. And is that our first goalless draw of the league?
That is our first goalless draw. So 0-0 there, 1 point for each of them. Let us take a look at the final table after match day 3. So guys, after the third match day has been completed, we see Finch still top of the table. He'll be very happy with today's results. But right behind him on 6 points is Lucas, Biscuit Face Gaming and Capgun Tom, all getting some good results, apart from, well, of course, Biscuit Face Gaming, who took a loss today. Then just behind those, you've got Lasty and Math Denton on 4 points, and then Beach and the Gamer Cam on 3 points, with Zweback on 2 and Fangs rooted bottom of the table on 1 point. But after 3 games, the fact there's only 6 points difference between first and last, it's still all up for grabs.
Oh, definitely. You could see Finch and Lucas, even though it's probably not going to happen, go on a 5-game losing streak. You never know with this game of FIFA. Finch, in the back of his mind as well, will be keeping an eye on Lucas's goal difference, because if it does come down to points, Lucas has got a far greater goal difference with +5 to Finch's +2 at the moment.
He has, and Finch the only person yet to lose, but we've got Zweback and Fangbanger yet to win. Now, they played each other already, which would be arguably the time that they would be both looking to get a win. So the fact they haven't yet got a win, everybody else has registered a win. They'll be struggling maybe for the rest of the tournament.
Well, even if Jesse does pick up 1 win, it will catapult back up into 4 points, where currently it is 5th and 6th in the table with Lasty and Math. And the same with Zweback. That would actually take him above them and move him into exactly 5th place, if that's what would have happened. But Ryan and Jesse have got they're the two people which need to prove why they're in this league and try and get some wins, some goals, and stop messing around, really, because they seem to be diddle-dallying about them two, don't they, with the types of play. But with the top four, with Tom, Biscuit, Lucas and Finch, that looks fun, and that could set up for an interesting end to the league.
It could, and I think Tom will probably be extremely happy to be sat in fourth, just 1 point behind top, after his thumping in match day 1.
Yeah, he got absolutely smashed, but he's turned it around. He's changed his team. He's even by watching his style of gameplay, he's having fun, bringing on the likes of Ronaldo to striker and doing some spins and roulettes and stuff. If he plays with this type of confidence, you never know, he could take some more points off important opponents.
He could indeed, and there you have it, guys. Finch leading the way going into match day 4. He'll be very happy, especially after all the games played today. Still didn't manage to overtake him. Let us know in the comment section below who you think is going to go on to win after today's results. Thank you as always very much for watching, and we will see you next time.